It is no secret that the supplement industry is amongst one of the most popular ones in the world, bringing in about $123 billion every year, with an estimated increase in 8.2% for the year 2020. In today's video, we will be taking a deeper look at the top 5 selling supplements in the market right now, and also seeing what the research has to say about their main ingredient. Are these companies really providing you with some top quality, scientifically backed up products, or are they just selling you a bunch of snake oil? In today's video, we're gonna find that out. So the supplements that we're gonna be looking at today are gonna be the top 5 selling supplements from bodybuilding.com. To be more specific, we're gonna be taking a look at protein powder, creatine, testosterone booster, fat burners, and my personal favorite, pre-workout. So let's start off with protein powder. Now, protein powder is arguably one of the most common supplements in the market, and when anybody thinks about exercising and working out, protein powder is the first thing that pops into their head. So let's take a look at what bodybuilding.com has listed as their best-selling protein powder on the market. So their best-selling protein powder is ProGym protein powder. They claim that their perfect protein blend is what puts them above the rest. Well, how perfect is this perfect protein blend anyways? Composed of whey isolate, micellar casein protein, milk protein isolate, and egg protein, there are a few things here that are worth taking a deeper look at. When it comes to whey protein, there are a lot of studies backing up its fast digesting properties and muscle building quality. A recent study compared whey protein isolate to rice protein in hopes to demonstrate their differences when it came to lean body mass acquisition, strength, and overall body composition after a short 8-week trial. What was found was that after 8 weeks, lean body mass had increased in both cases. A total of 2.5 kilograms was gained from the rice protein group and 3.2 kilograms was gained from the whey protein. Body fat seemed to have dropped 2.2 kilograms from the rice protein group and 0.7 kilograms from the whey protein group. Strength also increased at the end of the 8-week period in the bench press from 85.9 kilograms to 95.5 kilograms from the rice protein group and 89.5 to 98.5 on the whey protein group. Other studies have shown similar findings when comparing whey protein isolate to things like beef protein. And even when comparing micellar casein protein, which happens to be another main ingredient in this perfect protein blend, they all show to have similar effects. Now, I just want to note that the main reason why there was maybe a significant drop in body fat when comparing the rice protein to the whey protein is simply because rice protein is a lot less calorie dense than whey protein. And that's a pattern that we're going to look at more consistent as we look through the rest of these proteins. This company uses a lot of low-calorie protein sources to keep their calorie count on their protein fairly low. Another recent study shows that ingesting micellar casein protein provides a peak in essential amino acids at a slower rate than when ingesting whey protein alone. Keep in mind, this is not a bad thing necessarily, and we'll break down exactly why in just a second. The literature also mentions that whey protein promotes muscle protein synthesis by 122% when compared to casein protein, which is also known as milk protein, and 31% faster than soy protein, making casein protein the second slowest digesting protein right before micellar protein. So the last ingredient they have is the egg white protein. So let's take a deeper look at that. The literature is pretty straightforward when it comes to egg white protein, and it's a good way to add extra protein to a supplement without bumping up the calories too much. After all, this protein is only 150 calories for 24 grams of protein, and that's pretty good. So overall, what does this mean for this top selling supplement? Well, in my opinion, it seems to be pretty good, and I personally think it deserves all the hype behind. The various types of protein really gives you that advantage of having a protein source that digests at different rates throughout the day, and that's good for someone that could go a long time without eating, or just someone that is trying to just watch their calories overall. All of their ingredients seem to be scientifically proven and backed up by recent studies, and none of these ingredients seem to be too over the top. For the price, I would say this is a pretty good protein. For this protein powder, I'll go ahead and give it a 5-star. Let's go on to the next one. Now, the next supplement on our list is gonna be creatine. Now, creatine is one of the supplements that has had many studies done on it to prove its validity and what a big difference it can make to anyone who supplements with it. When it comes to creatine, aside from flavors, you will usually run into 2 different types of creatine: monohydrate and creatine hydrochloride. If you're someone who tends to have a delicate stomach, creatine hydrochloride would be your best option since it dilutes better in water. But alright, now that we got that out the way, let's just go straight into the ingredients. So according to bodybuilding.com, Platinum 100 creatine is their #1 selling creatine product on their site. And it's easy to see why. It's pretty cheap for 80 servings, and as mentioned earlier, there's not really much variety in creatine. A good creatine is simply just creatine. This one specifically recommends that you take 5 grams of creatine per serving while also going through a loading phase, also known as a saturation phase, in which you intake 5 grams 4 times a day in order to saturate your muscles and prime them for the months to come. So is it true? Does it really work as they claim it does? And do you really need to take as much as they are telling you? Well, according to the literature, creatine monohydrate supplementation does increase skeletal muscle total and phosphocreatine by 10%. Now this is significant because it shows that whether you are taking a really high amount of creatine or a low amount of creatine, your results are still going to be within the 10 to 20% range. So it doesn't seem like it's necessary for you to go through that loading phase and intake so much creatine. So although the higher dosages seem to be mostly used for larger athletes, in which most athletes seem to need about just 5 to 10 grams in order to maintain their creatine storages, the research also backs up the claim, which states that ingesting creatine with a carbohydrate drink or a carbohydrate drink mixed with protein can help increase creatine retention. I'm not sure if that justifies their claim of more impressive results, but it definitely will help you maintain your creatine storage full for a longer amount of time. When it comes to actual lean mass gains, there's a recent study that compared a group of adults supplementing creatine and a placebo group, in which the supplement group gained 3 kilograms of lean body mass at the end of their 8-week trial, and the placebo group only gained 0.5 kilograms of lean body. Strength was also increased in groups taking creatine, with about 37 kilogram increase in the leg press and a 15 kilogram increase in their bench press, which is quite a huge difference when you consider that the placebo group only gained 6 kilograms in the leg press and 2 kilograms in the bench press. So yeah, there you have it. There's really not much depth to any creatine supplement for the most part, as long as it's on flavor. You're pretty much just paying to get creatine, and as long as you get a high quality creatine, whether it's monohydrate or hydrochloride, you'll be in good hands. And I just want to touch on this because I know there's a common concern about creatine being bad for your kidneys. As much as I dug around, I was not able to find any solid concrete evidence or research that backed up kidney damage or kidney disease or any sort of kidney failure being directly linked to creatine usage. There was actually one study that ran for 5 years that tested the urine of males, healthy males at that, for 5 years, and they noticed no adverse effects of creatine in regards to their kidneys. So there you have it. There's really nothing that says creatine is bad for your kidneys, at least within a 5-year span. If that is your concern though, a lot of people do cycle in and out of creatine, you could do that if your kidneys is something that you're concerned about. So with all that in mind, see what we can rate this product. I personally want to give it a 5 stars because for the price, it's pretty good. And the fact that you're getting creatine and that's exactly what you're paying for, there's no missing with that. So we'll go ahead and give it a 5 star. Good job on this. Let's go on to the next one. But how about now we move into a more controversial supplement? How about we look into testosterone boosters? Testosterone boosters are arguably one of the most controversial supplements out there. The big question is, do you need it? Does it work? Does it not? Well, let's take a deeper look at this. According to bodybuilding.com, their top selling testosterone booster is EVL Test Testosterone Booster, in which the 4 most prominent ingredients are D-aspartic acid, tribulus, phenocrete, and DIM. So let's break this down briefly, quickly, and elegantly. D-aspartic acid has no real effect on hypertrophy and strength. A recent study shows that it was observed that with 6 grams of D-aspartic acid, the total testosterone was significantly reduced from baseline by 12.5%, with a parallel decrease in free testosterone by 15.3%. And this can translate to loss in gains in the long run. Going on to the next ingredient. For tribulus, the quick answer is that all the research narrows down to the same thing. It does not do what it originally was thought it could. That's increase your testosterone. The third most prominent ingredient is phenocrete. And this is where things start to take a turn for the better. Subjects showed that they had a significant improvement in lowering their body fat without reduction in muscle strength and endurance while supplementing with phenocrete. And it was also found the various dosages of phenocrete were safe and well tolerated by the body. Also, a 6-week study reported in the Journal of Phytotherapy Research found that a fenugreek supplementation boosted libido by 82% in men. 63% of men taking fenugreek noted an improvement in their quality and sex drive, and 67% of men indicated that it enhanced their sexual recovery. So if this means anything to you, hey, more power to you. The final ingredient is DIM. Now, this is an estrogen blocker, and for anyone who didn't know, all testosterone boosters are often given with an estrogen blocker, or are recommended to be taken with an estrogen blocker because your body naturally wants to balance out your testosterone levels. So if your testosterone shoots up here, your estrogen needs to shoot up here to balance you out. So that's just a heads up as of why this is in there. The literature tells us that higher dosages, so anything greater than 100 milligrams of isolated pure DIM, can saturate tissues and block estrogen. The research also tells us that you can ingest this from its natural sources like broccoli sprouts, radishes, kale, Brussels sprouts, and cabbages, which might be a way healthier way of ingesting this if you need to. The truth is that DIM helps improve your metabolism, and it does this well by regulating the hormones when they are within a healthy range in your body, and that's something that needs to be emphasized, when they're in a healthy range in your body. So what does this mean for the supplement? Well, honestly, I'm gonna have to give this one a 2.5 star. And that's mostly because 2 of their main ingredients show to not really do what they claim to. They do not have any scientific research behind them that 1000% says this will boost your testosterone. To me, that just seems a little shady. I wouldn't want to spend my money on something that I know is not 100% true and is 100% good. So for that, I would just recommend trying to boost your testosterone naturally. If you take a quick second to Google search how to boost your testosterone naturally, you probably find a ton of answers, and they're probably way healthier than taking a supplement for it. So now we got another good fat burner. So the top selling fat burner according to bodybuilding.com is lean mode weight loss support. And honestly, with a price of 83 cents per serving, I can see why. But to be realistic, fat burners are probably one of the most controversial supplements on the market. Let's see what the best selling fat burner on the market has to offer. Now, when we look at this fat burner, the top ingredients are green tea extract, green coffee bean extract, CLA, acetyl-L-carnitine, and Garcinia cambogia. And this is honestly just used for its extract of hydrocitric acid. So let's start to break this down ingredient by ingredient. So to start, let's take a look at green tea extract. This is an ingredient that for many years has been known to help boost the metabolism. In fact, a recent study showed that consuming green tea 1 hour before exercise for a month showed to increase fat utilization for energy, and consuming it within 24 hours after exercise for 10 weeks showed to increase fat oxidation and overall fat usage as energy. And fat oxidation, it just pretty much means that your body will continue to use fat as energy even when you're not exercising. The next ingredient on this list is green coffee bean extract. And to be honest, this one's one that caught me by surprise. The literature shows a significant reduction in body weight with an average loss of 8 kilograms, a body mass index drop of 2.92, and a body fat percentage drop of 4.4%. So the next ingredient is acetyl-L-carnitine. The research shows that consuming it 2 hours prior to exercise helps increase fat oxidation. And another recent study showed that the use of ACL helped reduce body fat mass during a 12-week trial. Now the last ingredient is the Garcinia cambogia extract, which as mentioned earlier is just used for its hydrocitric acid. And the relation that this has to fat loss is an indirect connection. The use of hydrocitric acid is mostly used to prevent hunger and elongate the satiation feeling, thus making you eat less and essentially reduce the total calories you intake in a day. So overall, what do I rate this product? Well, I'm gonna have to give it a 5 stars. As many as you may know, I do not recommend the use of fat burners, but to keep this video entirely subjective, I have to rate the ingredients and what they have proven to do. And honestly, this fat burner shows to be composed of nothing but scientifically backed up ingredients. So 5 stars. So now it's on to the 5th and final product. We're gonna look into PreWorkout. Now, PreWorkout comes in many forms, colors, flavors, and packagings. But as we have been doing, we will be looking at the best-selling one from bodybuilding.com, and that is Pre-Gym Pre-Workout. This is the second product from their line, so let's see if this one holds up to be just as good as the previous one. This pre-workout has 5 very common and very well backed up ingredients: BCAAs, citrulline malate, creatine HCl, which we talked about earlier, carnosine beta-alanine, and betaine. As we have been doing so far, let's take a quick look at every ingredient and let's see if it really does what it claims it does. So the most prominent ingredient in this pre-workout is BCAAs, and this is already a step in the right direction. BCAAs have shown time and time again that they are key components in muscular endurance and muscular strength performance. The next ingredient is citrulline malate. A recent study shows that citrulline malate helps decrease the blood lactate levels immediately after exercise. So a recent study shows that citrulline malate helps decrease the blood lactate levels immediately after exercise. And as many of you know, high blood lactate levels are essentially what makes you feel fatigued and tired. This study found a significant 49.8 decrease in blood lactate levels. This study goes more into detail about how to use citrulline malate in help with muscle contraction efficiency. It has shown to drop muscle soreness for up to 40%. And it has shown an impressive 90% responsiveness increase in muscle recruitment. It should be mentioned that this is all true in a study where subjects consumed about 6 grams daily. Another recent study has shown that an acute dose, so anything about 6 to 8 grams of citrulline malate, improves submaximal resistance exercise performance. The third ingredient in this is creatine HCl, which we went over earlier, so we talked about it. It's great, it's amazing, it works, so another thumbs up on that. The next ingredient is beta-alanine, and this is something that is mandatory for all pre-workouts. This ingredient is one that has shown to improve power and endurance in athletes across the board. In a recent study that compared 800-meter runners, it was noticed that on average their times were 3.6 seconds faster than those who were not supplementing. The results were represented by a large sample group, and according to the study, the improvement in time is 99% due to supplementation. Their words, not mine. On a different study, the use of beta-alanine has shown significant improvements in choice reaction performance and lower body muscular endurance. The findings here mostly led to believe that the supplementation led to a delay on fatigue during extraneous exercise. The last ingredient in this list is betaine, which is backed by research and showed to increase strength adaptations in already trained men. There's not much of a significance when untrained individuals were supplemented with it. And it is also known that this ingredient helps with high levels of homocysteine, which is a common amino acid found in the blood. And you mostly get high levels of this from eating a lot of meat, and this is directly correlated to heart disease. So I think this is just another way where they're trying to help increase your performance, but also provide a little bit of a healthier touch to their supplements. So overall, I give this product 5 stars because every ingredient they added has been scientifically backed up by research, and all their ingredients are also backed up by evidence that's fairly recent. There is a ton of research on their products. So whatever they're doing over there, good job. You guys are definitely headed in the right direction. As I mentioned earlier, 5 stars for PGym. Good job. Is a great pre-workout. Arguably one of the better ones out there, and I think it deserves all the hype behind it. So that concludes the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Mostly I hope you guys learned something new. I just want to mention that the purpose of this video was not to bash any company or any brand or say that this is better than that. It was simply to shine a little bit of light into what ingredients work and which ones don't, in hopes to make your supplement shopping experience a little bit easier next time, and that way you know what to look for. That being said, I'll close the video right here. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and also drop a like if you liked the video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next time.